See, this is where the whole teaching of sowing and reaping gets twisted. Because I know that, look, yes, if I give, it shall come back to me. The problem is I'm trying to give something that I don't have. Abraham prayed. He said Abimelech. Abimelech's name, literally, again, it means father. It means to reign and rule. Gerar means to meditate. So he goes and he says, Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, Lord, will thou slay also a righteous nation? Now here's Abimelech saying, hold up, I didn't come near this woman. First of all, I didn't have nothing to do with this. See, the funny thing is, man, I'm going to tell you, the funny thing is, I used to wonder all the time. Every time a person came near me, I used to wonder, why is it that when people come to this ministry, the moment we started this thing, that it seemed like all hell broke loose in their life? Isn't it funny? Abraham comes. Here's a man that is blessed by God, comes to a place where the people are righteous. But yet, he comes to a place and all hell breaks loose for the people. Abimelech's like, yo, I ain't do nothing. I ain't had nothing to do with this. Why all of a sudden now things going to happen to us? You going to slay a righteous nation? You going to get me? Because this dude came? Now watch this. Said he not unto me, she is my sister. And she even herself said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and in this innocence of my hands have I done this. I didn't do nothing wrong. See, that's why we got to understand what's happening. We always think that when situations come up in our life that it's something we did. We always feel like when circumstances hit us, it's something we did or something we didn't do. He says, no, man, I ain't had nothing to do with this. I innocently took this woman. But see, even him, see, this is the funny thing. You got to really see this. Abimelech, which name again means father of rule. Even things that come to you don't even know why it's coming. There's things that don't even know why. That's why it says the earth is waiting. The earnest expectation of creation is waiting for the manifestation of sons. Because even things that's going through don't even know why. Even the creation don't even know why stuff is. Even things that's going on don't know what stuff is. But look at this. This place called Gerar, which means meditate. Abraham goes to a place. It was never about Abraham coming there about something about Abraham. God was dealing with Abraham. God was dealing with Abimelech. God was dealing with Sarah. God is dealing with every single person on their level. Abraham is going there for one reason. For each one of them are getting something they need. But the main person in this story is Sarah. The main person in this story is Sarah. Even though the main thing is Abraham too and his thoughts. But we cover that. We see Abraham. We see Abimelech. Well, what's going on? What would I do? And here's this other thing. But Sarah is the main person here. I want you to see this. Watch this. And God said unto him in a dream, yeah, I know that thou did this in the integrity of your heart. I know it's got nothing to do with you. He says, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me. See, I know this ain't got nothing to do with you, but what I'm doing is I'm stopping you from going further in something because you're thinking I can go ahead and do certain things. He said, I'm withholding certain things because I know you did this in your integrity, but if I would have never stopped you, you would have went ahead and slept with her and then you would have had a problem with me. So I'm stopping you. I'm letting you know certain things, not because you did something wrong, but I'm stopping you from doing something wrong because you're thinking about doing something that you feel is right. We all do things that we feel is right. I'm about to make decisions based upon because I'm doing this out of the pureness of my heart. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think that what I'm getting ready to do is nothing wrong with it. He says, you're right. This is innocent, but I'm stopping you because you're getting ready to do something that's not in the plan. So you have a right to do whatever you want to do. That's what he was even telling them in Acts and when Paul was talking to the church. And they was like, you know, this, they went and sold all they had. And the guy was getting ready to sell, and he was getting ready to buy stuff. And he's like, it's my money. He said, it was yours, you can do whatever you want to do with it. The problem is it ain't in the plan. Nothing wrong with you going out and do something. Nothing wrong with you do this. Nothing wrong. It's yours. It's innocent. You can do whatever you want. However, it's not in the plan. See, this whole thing is about a circle. This whole thing and this whole portion is about a circle. And he appeared. He only appears when there's oneness. That's why this put 11, 11, 11. He only appears. The power only appears when there's oneness. The problem is each individual is thinking of each individual self. So Abimelech is only thinking of himself in innocence. You're innocent. You're thinking of yourself and it's innocent, but I'm stopping you from thinking of yourself. I brought Abraham and Sarah here for a purpose. So Abimelech, I'm stopping you because you're not understanding the oneness. 3 people playing here in this part. 3. Oneness. Because I'm going to teach each one of you something. So Abimelech, you're sinning against me. How was I going to sin against you? Because this man is a purpose of why I sent them here, and it's a purpose why she's here. You just got to get on board with the purpose. So he says here, and God said in a dream, yes, I know that you did this in the integrity of your heart, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. Now therefore restore the man. Why? He's speaking to Abimelech, who is the chief. He's speaking to Abimelech, who is the chief. Abimelech, chief king. He speaks to the chief king. You restore this man his wife. Give him back his wife. Watch this. For he is a prophet, and he shall pray for you that you shall live. And if you restore her not, know that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are thine. Therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning, called his servants, and told all these things in their ears. And the men were afraid, so afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, what hast thou done unto us? See, he's getting to the issue now. What is it? What was your reasoning for doing what you did? And so Abraham responds. He says, and what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me and my kingdom a great sin? Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not to be done. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, what sawest thou, that thou hast done this thing? And Abraham said, because I thought. What is it that you did? What is it you say? What is it that you do? What is it? What's stopping you from really doing what it is that we need to do? Know what it is? Because I thought. I can sit here and tell you right now, the reason why we can't come together and do stuff as one. You know why? Because I thought. That's the answer, because I thought. Why we ain't moving forward and doing stuff as a community? Because I thought. Why we still stuck? Why we still doing the same thing every week? Meet once a week doing the same stuff? Because I thought. Everything because I thought. Surely. And this is the thing, the funny thing is, because I thought, without a shadow of a doubt. Because I thought, without no doubt. We will think stuff and not even doubt it. And be dead wrong. He said, because I thought, without a shadow of a doubt, this place was wicked. And was dead wrong. Surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. Yet indeed she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. And it came to pass when God caused me to wander from my father's house, that I said, look. And then he go back now, going back to something that happened before. Well, surely you got to understand why I thought it. You understand why I think what I think. You got to understand, because see what happened was when I was doing this before and stuff started happening before, and see when I was going out my father's house and stuff, and so when I had did this before, and so when I had did, because last place I was at and the thing that happened because what. And he says, this is thy kindness which thou show unto me. At every place whither we shall come and say of me, he is my brother. And Abimelech took sheep and oxen and men servants and women servants and gave them to Abraham, restored him Sarah's wife. And Abimelech said, behold, my land is before thee, dwell where it pleases thee. And unto Sarah he said, behold, I have given thy brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Behold, he is to thee a covenant of thine eyes unto all that are with thee, and with all other. Thus she was reproved. So Abraham prayed unto God, and God healed Abimelech. You understand what happens? See, you ever wonder why the scriptures, if you look at this whole portion, you look at this whole thing, you'll see somewhere, sometimes where it says, and the Lord said. And then you'll see places where it says, and God. You'll see some places where it says, and the Lord. And then you'll see a place, and God. Whenever it says, and God, that's on you. See, it says here, and Abraham prayed unto God, and God healed Abimelech. In other words, simply, Abraham spoke healing over Abimelech. Same thing that Jesus would just speak. He didn't have to say God. He didn't have to pray and say, Lord, I pray that you would have. No, he was showing us, look, you speak it. That's why he said, if you withhold, if you forgive somebody's sins, it's done. If you don't forgive them, they're still there. He was showing us now, whenever it says God is speaking of you, that is on you. That's why we read scripture when God did. That is on you. God, and there's no thing outward's going to happen unless you do it. Ain't nothing going to happen unless you do it. Ain't nothing falling out no skies. Ain't nothing happening unless you do it. Ain't no miraculous things happening unless you do it. Ain't nothing going to take place unless you do it. Ain't nobody getting healed unless you do it. And what he's teaching Abraham is, if you want something to happen, you do it. And he took him to this place, in a place of Gerar, which means meditation, so that he can tap what's inside of him so he stop thinking. And he put Sarah in this place. Why? Because I'm going to show you what dead wombs look like. And Abraham, if you want your wife's womb open, he took him to a place of Gerar called meditation, so that Abraham can find out who he is. And now he get practice on opening dead wombs. You just missed it.